Hello, you. This is going to be a video on really just one issue. I didn't really want to talk about anything else, but I thought this needs to be talked about. And I really should make a video, even though I really didn't want to. I'm tired. It's kind of late. I really don't want to make a video, but I think this needs to be said. But I was watching, just scrolling through the internet, and I found a video of Fox Business, and I don't know how old it is, but it seems to be pretty new. And they're literally basically, what would you call this? You have two guys on there who claim to be medical experts, pretty much cracks, who are unopposingly, with no one to oppose them, listing benefits to genital mutilation, saying that really all males should be circumcised, listing medical benefits that have largely been disproven or debunked, with no one to oppose them now. Two of them, primarily one guy and another guy who defends him, two new news hosts who don't say much of anything. And this is a segment on Fox Business, on a mainstream, credible cable news network. And again, this is a business network. It's not even supposed to have anything to do with medicine, really. And they're doing that. Now, what would you call that? Because what I would call that personally is propaganda. That is the definition of propaganda. They wanted to push circumcision. They wanted to defend it and say it's a good thing, and they did. And this is their way of trying to promote that and get that over as something okay to do. And furthermore, they was trying to say in the um, video that it should be covered by health insurance because it no longer is. And they're saying that because of the health care that the Democrats won't. And this is a Republican channel, largely Republican channel, so this isn't the Democrats doing that, though I'm sure a lot of them would support this too. But this is a Republican issue, and they're trying to say that people, including a lot of people who, like me, who thinks it's a disgusting, immoral practice, should have to cover that procedure, even though we don't want to and we're against that. And I think that in part, maybe this is because of the mandate that it would cover abortion. But first of all, these are apples and oranges because it's not even the same issue. And people who are against circumcision have nothing to be people who are against that, like me. And he has to know that, if nothing else, all you have to do is go on the internet to see that a lot of people, in fact, probably the majority of people, are now opposed to and against this. And we don't support that. And a lot of us, who are the majority of us, probably want to do that to our kid. We don't want other people to, and we're not going to fucking pay for your decision to do something that we don't fucking support. And they but yeah, and they that so again, an increasing amount of people don't support that, but now we're supposed to have to pay tax dollars for people to do that, and they're lying and promoting propaganda for people to do this. And this is on a mainstream news network, and it's just bullshit. So I see that I lost the one guy watching, not that I really give a shit, but nevertheless. Anyways, that's that. And the more things change, the more they stay the same. And it's just us doing the same thing over and over again, and we never seem to change. We never do anything different. And we're going to push that same old rock back up that same old hill. And they're still trying to list out and promote supposed benefits of circumcision that don't exist. They're debunked. It's been debunked. Europe, for example, have much better health than us. Europe has less AIDS. They don't have AIDS. They don't have. They didn't get AIDS before we did. It was the other way around. They have less AIDS than us. There's other diseases that they have less of. I don't even think he went into AIDS. Probably because that just seems too ridiculous at this point. And they're saying now our tax dollars should cover this shit. And it's absolutely ridiculous, and it's propaganda, and that's what passes as news and information in medicine in America. And it's outrageous, and it's crazy to think this country is ever going to get any better. It's going to take some major, almost catastrophic, this transformative event, or a series of events to change this country, because we just will not change. People are ignorant, they have their head up their ass, and they don't want to ever change anything. And that's against the damn children that really suffer. But again, I also just want to end this by saying, what if, and just imagine, what if this was the other way around and they were on TV saying this about women? Do you think maybe they would have at least had someone on there to oppose them? They would have at least had someone on there to argue against what they were doing, argue against their point to promote the rights of the child. If this was females they were talking about, and instead they're talking about males, so it's okay, this can go on national TV where they can just lie and talk about what the rest of us should be doing with our tax money and having to pay something we don't support. And again, all you assholes on the right ring and all you Republicans that want to talk about Democrats in the left ring as being so much more anti-male than Republicans, well, you're wrong. Or if they are more anti-male, it's not by much. But but I will say this: you are right about one thing. Democrats are not pro-male either, because we don't really have anyone to speak up for us. And once again, in this situation, like usual, once again, like I said, it's a child that suffers. And once again, we get fucked. And it just doesn't change. And we're heading into another decade saying and thinking the same shit. And it's like, but feminism is what we need. You know, women have the real problems. Men have privilege. This is a fucking privilege. What a bunch of shit. P666.